Whether it's lack of bail money, addiction, mental health issues, there are many different reasons people may become justice involved. We'll show you what's being done inside the jail to help connect people to the services they need, and how LMDC is working with a variety of community partners to help support them when they leave the system. On this episode of the 502 Report. The role of Metro Corrections is to increase public safety and care for the more than 30,000 inmates that walk through its doors each year. But now it also serves as the largest detox and mental health facilities for Jefferson County. How are staff and the facility adjusting to this new demand for services?
This is the most expensive bed in town, and we need to preserve this space for those people that are truly a threat to you and I. There are 33,000 people that cycle in and out of here every year. The majority of them have made a mistake, have other compelling reasons that may have facilitated their challenges. We have to provide meal services, mental health, and medical services, a warm and safe facility. But that's about constitutionally all that we are required to provide.
And I'm going to do it each digit, okay, man?
Here in Louisville, we're providing much more than that. We are the largest de facto mental health facility in the region. We are providing educational services, adult basic education. We are providing soft skills programs, employability programs, reentry services.
How are you doing? Historically, the role of corrections has never been helping individuals outside of jail. In 2015, Director Bolton recognized the need to help our familiar faces that keep cycling in and out of jail due to mental health issues, substance use issues, homelessness. William Hensley is one of our very familiar faces. He has had 189 bookings into our jail alone. He said, Miss Monet, I just cannot do this anymore. I need help. I'll do anything. So he had a place to stay and he had a place to go receive extra treatment. But relapse is part of recovery. Come on out. So we're not giving up on William, although this morning he ended up in jail again.
I messed up, but that's all right. My sponsor told me to watch out for this, you know what I'm saying?
It's important to just pick up where we left off and move forward, right? So we decided to develop a discharge planning program.
Bobby Price!
But we're going to see, hey Bobby, how's it going? How we can learn from this experience. For a majority of our population, it did not take them overnight to develop the addiction or overnight to lose, everything or develop habits. They have a bed, it's just if you're eligible, and they let me know. Okay, any questions? We're good? If we can cut the cycle of those individuals coming in and out of jail, it benefits taxpayers, it benefits our neighborhoods, community, it benefits every single one of us.
What we're seeing through evaluation is that some of these initiatives are working, and they're starting to show positive metrics, and they're starting to show a return on the investment.
So this backpack was prepared for a female. Even if we're just giving seasonally appropriate clothes to someone upon their release and that's all they want, it's still helping. It's still helping them out there to know somebody cared enough.
Captain Gilbert had 26 body cams out last night.
This has been a team effort. We continue to, I think, develop positive relationships with the social service community. We're seeing the needle move in terms of validated success. When everybody's working together,
Normally it doesn't take too long.
for the good of that individual and the community, and you're seeing benefits, man, what's not to get excited about relative to that? But there's so much further yet to go.
Many inmates are at Metro Corrections simply because they can't afford bail. The Bail Project is a program that helps address that issue in 11 cities, one of which is Louisville.
Listen, please, you're going to go to dorm 6, all right? Dorm 6.
More than 85% of the people that are incarcerated in our local jail are there pre-trial, meaning they have not been convicted of anything at this point. They're awaiting their trial. And a lot of people are sitting there because they can't afford bail. If you are ensuring that freedom should be free, it comes from the concept that innocent until proven guilty.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Arraignment Court. I'm Judge Amber Wolf. You're here today because you've been charged with some offense of our criminal laws. As such, you have the right to plead not guilty.
Over 95% of our referrals come from our public defenders. When bails are set, if they are within our guidelines, they send us that information for that client.
We'll enter a plea of not guilty. The bond's currently set at $2,500.
The Bail Project is a national organization that is out to help ensure freedom should be free. Bail was set up to be an incentive to come back. It should be set at an amount that you can afford. And sometimes it's used in a very punitive way. The longer I sit here, the more I'm gonna say, I need to just take a plea. Hi, Jackie. This is Shamika with the Bail Project. I'm just calling you to remind you, you have court on Thursday. If they can't make it to court, we provide a Lyft ride. Once they're done with their case, then that money comes back into our account and we're able to get someone out. And a lot of them don't want to hold that process up for the next person. The biggest thing, we're thinking about budget, $70 a day. The average day being 23 days. That is a large part of the city's budget, same budget that we use for public safety and other things that we need in our community. So we've only been here since May of 2018, and since that date, bailed over 630 Louisvillians out. And we know that that number significantly decreases the overcrowding. Louisville is truly the city of possibilities. And it's the city of compassion because people have been working together. We haven't done this alone. We've done this with the administrative office of the courts. We've done this with the Louisville Metro Jail, and we've also done this with our big partners, the Louisville Public Defenders.
The Bail Project has helped 3,600 people to date. For more information, go to bailproject.org. The Training Academy turns out approximately 60 corrections officers each year. It's a rewarding profession that requires not only a strong body, but a strong mind as well.
You need the heart, the spirit, and the mind for it. You get a rude awakening real quick the first week. You wake up, you gotta be in formation, military style. And that's something that you don't expect. But after that, you start to see the camaraderie that you have, not only with your fellow recruits, but also with the officers. You start to realize that they genuinely care about this job and recruits as a whole.
You're going to see what that feels like so that you can power through it. The department spends a lot of money on equipment, on time. We have one of the longest corrections academies in the United States. To train our officers are some of the most highly trained corrections officers in the business. It costs a lot, but it's money well spent.
It's been a roller coaster ride. In one sentence, you got your really good days and then you got your really stressful days. You're trying to study and physical, agility all at once. It can test your endurance and at the same time your, the mentality that you have, but it's rewarding at the same time.
We try to recruit from all walks of life. What I'm looking for in a recruit is someone who's, one, willing to learn, approachable, someone, when someone has a problem, is not quick to judge, but hopefully they might think outside the box to be able to help or redirect them because they might be thinking the world's over. I'm locked up, I'm losing my house, my kids, talk them through it.
You have to be able to pass the background, the psychological, there's the polygraph test, and then, you think you're on the game once you walk in the door, and then you realize, wait a minute, the fun haven't even begun yet.
They come in, have to identify the situation, and make decisions based on what happens from there. Our academy here consists of 11 weeks. They get about 420 hours of training that consist of use of force, which is part of the Red Man, obviously. They get training on verbal judo, which is very important because we talk to people a lot. They get trained with a baton, as you saw today in the Red Man scenario. They get trained on pepper spray. They get trained on handcuffs. They get trained on a lot of things to make decisions. They understand diversity. They understand implicit bias. They get a lot of training throughout the whole entire academy.
Where you get them day one to where they end up 11 weeks later, to take that person off the street and to turn that person into somebody who can then go out in the community and inside the jail and represent themselves in the department both legally and safely. It's a pretty big feather in the cap.
Best one so far. It's a huge accomplishment for recruits to come here and get through the 11 weeks of the academy, which is very physical and very mental and demanding. Once they accomplish that, they feel very proud about that.
Be mindful, you got other stuff you can use, kicks.
I found out a lot as far as how far I could push myself, to be the person that I wasn't sure I could be. That was a big step up for me because I always had doubts for myself and how far I could go. And this academy's really shown me, the person that I can be, that I want to be.
To learn more about a career as a corrections officer, go to louisvilleky.gov/government/corrections. The Louisville Metro Department of Corrections works with Goodwill to help improve the confidence and job skills of inmates to help reintegrate them into our community.
They say keys to a positive attitude is admitting the problem and not denying it.
I was blown away by how much help that there really is out here for you, for me especially.
The CCC work release program is different from the big jail, and we have several floors of guys that have the ability to leave and come back throughout the day to attend their job search, work release, medical release, therapy, treatment, whatever it is, but then they return back to CCC once they've completed whatever release they have.
And it's no different about our attitude. I do this because it not only gives me purpose, but I get to work with individuals that have gone through the same thing that I've went through in my life.
Listening to my career coaches and Tom, he's shown me that you really want to get something in your life, it's not over yet. You might have messed up, but take this program, do your steps, and before you know it, you can be in a good position.
With tools and information, it gives us an opportunity, no matter what we've done in our life, to be able to change it.
These programs are important because if these guys just come in, sit, do their time, then get released without getting their treatment, without getting job skills training, without getting opportunities to better themselves so when they get out they can live a normal life, then it doesn't serve its purpose.
If you are serious about getting out and getting your life together, if you want to work, if you want to do what you got to do, come in here in the Goodwill, sign up, get into the program, because that's the best first step I could give you.
They're getting them on the right path. I mean, some people, all they know is the streets. Now they have some structure and they have, that certificate's just a piece of paper, but it means something to them. And you can see a lot of them are wanting to do better.
People that are in the jails, they're just regular people. They just made bad choices.
It has me looking forward to the day when I do get out because I already know what to do, where to go. I have an action plan now. I can take the steps that I need to better be successful in my life. Deontay's future is marvelous.
It's important to have companies in the community like Facilities Management Services, or FMS, who believes in second chances and second chance employment. But FMS goes even further to create a supportive and inclusive work environment.
Good morning, Facilities Management. How can we help you?
We're a commercial cleaning company, janitorial service.
Sure, let me give you that extension. It's a very busy place.
It's not like any other place I've worked at.
We're a company of sort of mutts and scrappers ourselves.
Paraphernalia, alcohol intoxication, possession of marijuana, nothing real big. I was on drugs and alcohol for 20 years of my life. It's learned behavior. After 20 years, it's just a way of living. And change is not easy. It's not easy. I guess the pain was great enough to where I wanted to change. Healing Place alumni, this is the Serenity Prayer, and that's what landed me in the Healing Place. Played a big part in changing my life. It's where my new journey began. I was some fear going back to work because I haven't done it in so long.
We want you to feel like you're part of FMS as soon as you walk in that door. Timothy came in, he was very open, upfront, honest, and seemed like he had the best attitude in the world and that he just wanted to move forward.
I wanted to change, and so I just put effort behind it.
I just felt like we need to give this guy a chance.
Being able to be honest from the jump and everybody being intrigued by my story and they listen, they don't judge. Monday's order. I could say I love the guys, but I wouldn't tell them that. And just chit-chatting with them and being sociable. There we go. It is a fun, good atmosphere to work with these guys. I've really developed a close relationship with them. I never really had that before in any other employment.
He's a good guy all around. And it's not just Timothy that I'm referring to. It's people that come in. They're good-hearted people. They just need an opportunity. And not every employer is going to give them that opportunity. And I love it that we're getting to where we can give them that opportunity.
Not too many people decide they want to go work for a cleaning company. So it's this assembly of folks that have been through a lot of different things. We've got people that are in recovery. We've got people that have been incarcerated. We've got people that have had very close family members experience tragedy. We all kind of see each other as yard dogs and fighters. So there's this culture.
It's a great culture. Being comfortable in the space that you're in and the people that you work around, and we want that to trickle out to our team members and to our customers.
We became the first public benefit corporation in the state of Kentucky and the first janitorial service in the world to become a benefit corporation, to where we measure the successful execution of our social mission and the good work we do the same way we measure operational efficiencies and profitability.
It's a real big family, compassionate. We do a lot of stuff together. We motivate each other. It means a lot.
It's a great place to work. I love it. I absolutely love it.
The past doesn't define who you are today. When you're honest and you can truly speak what's on your heart and how you feel, it can help people that are not even alcoholics or addicts.
FMS is always hiring. To contact them, call 479-3286. The Assertive Community Treatment Team, or ACT, works with individuals with severe mental illness who have been released from corrections and don't have friends or family that they can rely on for support.
Re-entry is when someone is coming back into the community after being incarcerated. ACT is Assertive Community Treatment. We're also a forensic ACT team, so we're working with folks that are criminally justice involved. They're coming out of jail, out of prison. Our goal is to keep folks out of the hospital and out of the system, out of jail, and keep them in the community where they're getting treatment. That means that at any point in time, because of what they're experiencing, how their mental illness affects them and their ability to integrate into the community, could end up in an institution of some type. They've lost contact with their family and their support system. They've lost resources. Their finances are cut off. And it's really just that idea of getting them back to where they once were, a productive member of society.
I'm from Portland. I started not being taking my medicine at times. I went to the streets, literally. Man, I was lost. When you're incarcerated, to be honest, sir, in your mind and soul, because you went through it, you're gonna always be institutionalized. I got out January the 8th of this year. I went up to pay on my fine and that, and I saw Aaron Bates, and he said, you need to get back in with ACT's team to help you out, get your therapy and get on your medicine. And I said, yes, sir. And I met Miss Christina. I'm doing a whole lot better now, man, a whole lot better, brother.
On the outside, it's fending for yourself, and it's understanding how to do that and knowing where to go that's safe and that's accepting. We're going to Bologna Alley, and it's where a lot of the folks in our community can get something to eat. When I'm able to locate someone, basically where I start is how they're doing and where they're at, what they want, what's going on that's they haven't been in touch with me, and how we can reconnect. What do they need to get back in connection with the team to get the services that they need.
I was out there lost, but now it's like I'm learning who I am. I'm looking for myself in life, and finally I'm finding it, man. These people are helping me, brother. If it wouldn't been from them, I probably still wouldn't be here to this day, man. I'd be in the grave.
Human beings are social by nature, and we cope with things better when we have someone to lean on, someone to share our story with. For many folks, we're the only folks that they have outside of the jail. So a lot of times when you're out in the community and you have this set thing on your agenda for the day, because we work so closely as a team, I'll get a text message or some kind of communication that someone's in crisis, and you kind of have, at that point, become deployed to go help the situation, because again, our goal is to keep folks out of jail. I was driving back through and I saw you still standing there.
You really kind of sound like a counselor to me.
That's my job. I just try to remember that this isn't who they are, that they're more than their mental illness, they're people.
Then I'm normal.
Right. I agree. You're normal. Everything that you're feeling. Letting her know that, like, hey, you're not alone in this. We're here right now in the moment, and it's all about what you want to do from here. She needed to feel safe, and she needed to feel supported, and that's what it's about. Every day there's a different problem to solve.
It changed my life for the better. A lot of good people helped me along the way to be back to being who I am, Daryl Green, and honestly, it makes me believe I am somebody.
Living Room is what's known as a diversion program, helping to connect people in crisis with services they need to keep them out of jails and hospitals.
I'll be right up. I work 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I am a certified peer support specialist with Sodexo. The various easy way to tell it is it's a person with lived experience. Peer support specialist has basically been there, done that. People come in all throughout the day. They come into the evening. They come in at night. There's always somebody coming in.
Hi, sir, how are you? Good. Good. How are you doing today?
And we help with everything from just making a simple phone call to getting them a bed to actually putting somebody in an Uber and sending them to treatment.
Have you ever stayed at a shelter before? Okay, we can go downstairs and then we can check and see what other resources you might need.
The living room helps the community. We're a diversion from jail. We're a diversion from, being admitted to the hospital, from going to the ER, to going to emergency psychiatric services.
All right, here's your paperwork.
Now I'm getting his intake paperwork. I'm gonna sit down and fill out some information with him to find out what all he needs as resources, and we're gonna take it from there.
Health doesn't just mean your body, health also means your mind. We've been really fortunate this generation that more and more people are coming out and talking about their mental health and substance abuse issues. It is different than what was being done before because as a therapist, it's a formal interview. They're not sharing their life story. They're not meeting you necessarily on your level. A peer service is very different because they have been there and they've done that. They can be met at a whole different way and is supported in a whole different way. Whether that means getting clothes, getting food, getting into mental health or substance abuse services, whether that means just having a shoulder to cry on, we do all of that.
The Living Room is here for persons who have identified themselves in crisis for substance abuse, mental health, or with their basic resources that help them function safely in the community. In 2018, we got the opportunity to expand our guest encounters and we became open to the public.
We opened this as a pilot project with 2 LMPD divisions. It worked so well that by March, all 8 LMPD divisions were utilizing the program.
We have tripled our guest check-ins each month and are serving a little over 300 guests each month at this time.
The biggest thing is to take the shame away from somebody. First thing you need to know is I'm not judging you. I've been there. This is my story. This is what I've done.
Living Room, this is Rhonda. May I help you?
My trauma was rape. I was raped when I was 16. The road to recovery started with me. I was really bad into my drug addiction, and my daughter was 11 at the time, and she told me that she didn't want to see me anymore because she didn't feel safe with me. I left my daughter and I left my husband and I came back to Kentucky. I was able to get through it with the right help and the right family support. If I would have had a place to go like the Living Room and talk to other people that have been through it, I would have been a whole lot better off, I believe.
We're always available. And I don't think that that's true anywhere else.
My daughter's getting ready to come back and live with me in Kentucky. So I've made huge strides. And now I have that part of my story to share as well. I love working with the people and I'd love to help. I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather do. They can see you today to let you talk about what's been going on with you. And once they get done talking to you and see what's going on, they'll let me know what their plan is for you. And then I can help you work on finding a bed to stay so that you can have somewhere to stay right now.
If you or someone you know is in crisis, call 589-1100. The Living Room is located at 708 Magazine Street. Better understanding the obstacles justice-involved individuals face and connecting them with the services they need is vital to keeping them out of the justice system. In the hopes that corrections officers run into familiar faces in places like grocery stores out in the community instead of in the jail. Thanks for watching this episode of the 502 Report. Until next time, take care.